Thank you. A group of bandits took over this old mine. Not much ore left. I suppose that's why it was abandoned. But they are working us to the bone to get whatever there is. I will once I gather my strength. Thank you for saving me. Please help the others.
Move, now!
If you're not here on Dominion business, I'll need you to move along. My time is precious. A gruesome trophy, to be sure. But we've thought him dead twice before, only to learn how painfully wrong we were. There are many grieving families who will rejoice to hear of Sgolag's death. Here's your reward. It's well earned.
I've heard tales of your valor at Esduin. Bravely done.
Orcs are all about honor and all that, yeah? I wonder if he really tricked me. I don't guess you've run into a big, lumbering brute of an orc in your travels. Named Storgh. Was a friend of mine. Emphasis on the was. I'm in a pile of trouble because of him. Maybe you've heard of the Rite of Theft, a wood elf tradition. If you pull off a particularly clever theft, you can demand payment from the owner for their things. Well, I stole this tree thane's bow, and then Storgh stole the bow from me. The tree thane wants his bow back, and if I can't give it to him, he's going to have me hauled in and whipped. Last I heard, Storgh was headed toward Vinedeath Cave. The tree thane won't let me leave town. Could you look for Storgh?
Here is the Temple of the Eight. We accept the Eight just as you do. Possibly more.
My husband, Ninglanel, went for a walk yesterday morning. Said he wanted to get away from the squabbling at Eldenroot. He hasn't come back. I went looking for him this morning with our dog, and now my dog has wandered off.
The singer, the storyteller.
Yes, thank you for pointing that out. The last place I saw our dog eat was near the fork in the road that leads to Cormount, just west of here. Take this whistle. Use it when you get to the fork in the road. I'll wait here in case he comes home.
Ironic. Huh. We come back to my homeland and I'm the one that falls into a ravine. I used to scale these rocks like they were stairs. I guess none of us are immune to the ravages of time. Just give me a second and I'll head back home. I knew Eat wouldn't leave me here to rot. Miss Zahabi will be worried sick. Thank you.
First of the
Our
Earth
family is
Gods
back together.
sang the songs
I
the
can
seeds
never
of the
thank you
earth
enough.
carry in their hearts.
I knew Eat wouldn't leave me. We spent a lot of time in my wife's homeland, the Reaper's March, so the unusual fauna here must have spooked him a bit.
Won't try that again. You're too fast.
Destroy the body, and the Animus is cast into darkness. But the Animus returns. Pointless. 10 anchors drop for each that is destroyed.
Doing something with magic-y? Need something? Big mistake. Adventuring with you really keeps a girl on her toes. You're getting stronger all the time.
I've got to get back in there! Stay back. There's only death ahead. Shades boiled out of the ground and fell upon us. So much death. Mages Guild. They were excavating this ruin for artifacts, but they woke something up. Some of the acolytes are still trapped inside. If I don't do something, those acolytes are done for. But I've lost a lot of blood.
I hope I helped.
You arrived in the nick of time.
Thank you. I can make it back to camp from here.
Move now!
Follow me quickly, before any more of them return. Fan out!
I'm gonna show off a little.
Research. All I want to do is research. Why do I always end up in life or death situations? Either in Darwin's cursed or I am. Shades boiling up from the ground? What next? Trolls in heat? We were excavating for artifacts when Dominion soldiers showed up, demanding we turn over anything we'd found. And Darwin showed them what we had, but Lieutenant Urian insisted we work faster. No protocols, no safeguards. I have no idea. The Mages Guild has procedures for a reason. Not that the soldiers listened. We found an ancient scepter made from bone, but before we could properly contain the artifact, one of those idiots grabbed it. That's right. And if it weren't for you, I'd have joined them. I'm heading back to our base camp. You should speak with Darwin if you think you can help sort out this mess. You can't be any worse than Lieutenant Orion.
Help me.
Our orders were to protect the Mages Guild in their excavation, so you will have to see to your own defense. We're spread too thin to do anything but guard this camp. General Indare, commander of the Jade Dragoons. She sent us here personally from our garrison in Haven. What? That's preposterous. When did this happen? We received no word of a decampment. Our orders were to come here, mine the Mages Guild dig, and await further orders. But if it's true, there must have been a good reason to leave the city. General Indare does nothing without a good reason. She told us recovering relics was of great import to the Dominion. I didn't ask questions, but I think it has something to do with Eldenroot. Something's going on there, something political. I think the General wants to get out in front of it.
If those soldiers hadn't touched the Bone Scepter, we wouldn't be in this mess.
I appreciate what you did for the acolytes. They weren't prepared for any of this. I'm relieved Kellermond is safe, but don't tell him I said that. The Bone Scepter? Yes, it's in my pack, just outside this tent.
Who's there?
That bone scepter is the only thing of note we found. There's no end of trouble since we pulled it from the ruin. It's not dangerous, not directly. What I mean to say is that holding it won't rot your hand off. At least not immediately. It summons all the shades, I suspect. It certainly doesn't control them. Not that I've found anyway. Although, the markings carved into the scepter are all Ayleid, for Pale Sentinel. Could that mean the creature at the heart of the ruin? It's the only shade we've heard speak, though it mostly just wails. It is rather pale, come to think of it, and the scepter works obsidian into bone, which is an old form of necromantic control. Say, would you care to help prove a theory? If that shade is in fact the Pale Sentinel, that bone scepter may have some control over it. And if it's directing the rest of the shades, perhaps you could force it to stop. Besides, we can't allow Telacar's ancient traps to remain active. Not this close to Elden Root. He was a necromancer, one of Menamarco's most talented apprentices, but he and his wife Vestari eventually left Menamarco's tutelage. It isn't entirely clear. There are many theories, but they all boil down to a difference of opinion. Seems to be the way of things with necromancers.
Leave this place! I won't let you wake him! The Bone Scepter! No, please, don't wake him! Stop! Don't make me go back! I was so close to escaping him forever! Telacar. A bad man who sleeps inside these ruins. When he wakes, I'll be trapped here forever. I'll do everything I can to get away. I did not! Telacar's servants hurt those people. They don't like you if you aren't from here. When he wakes, he'll control them completely. Just like me. The Bone Scepter holds power over Telacar's monsters. Over me. I can't lie to you. Besides, lying is wrong. One of Telacar's victims. But I don't have to be. If you can free me before he wakes, I'll leave. Then he'll go back to sleep forever. Hooray! Follow me inside the ruin. We don't want the Shades to hear us. They're his spies, you know. Quiet in here. Telacar's servants don't like things with blood inside them, and they really don't like noise. There's a big sparkly door inside the Constellation Room. It's this big lock Vestari made, to keep him asleep inside. She doesn't come around anymore. I think that's why the door isn't so sparkly. Telacar's wife. They fought and fought, because he was a bad man, and she was a good woman. But she thought she could change him. When she realized he'd always been bad, she locked him in here. But the lock grew weak, and now he's waking. Vestari left 3 of the things we need in special rooms around the ruins. The fourth is stuck inside some of Telacar's servants. If you smash them open, I won't tell. But about all the pieces, I don't know how to make them work together. I'm sorry. That's easy. The morning room, the smelly room, and the forbidden room. But don't worry, I can keep you safe. We should just go there. I'll point out what we need. I can distract Telacar's servants. Point the bone scepter at one of them and I'll blind it. Then you can smack it until it falls down. Don't worry, it's not like you're hurting it. They get back up again, eventually. Oh, all right. The most important thing is the book Vistari wrote in when she locked the door. We need to find that so we know what to do in the Constellation Room. There's an old skull Telacar stole from Menamarco. Then there's a glowy vial. I don't know what's inside, but if you listen real close, you can hear whispers. Oh, and the Milky Rocks. You'll find those inside some of Telacar's servants. Behold, the Forbidden Room. I come here to think sometimes. It's where Vistari left the book she wrote in when she put Telacar to sleep. Once we find all the pieces we need, we can go to the Constellation Room. Then we'll make sure Telacar sleeps for good. I don't like the morning room. All the servants used to live in the cages. But Vistari brought that old skull back here. I'm sure of it. It's the smelly room. That glowy vial lit the hallways when Vistari carried it back from the Constellation Room. That's the last of them. We have all the pieces. We should go to the Constellation Room and put Telacar back to sleep.
Don't mess with the street kid.
Something's happening. I think it's working.
How dare you intrude within my... What? It's
No!
you!
Let me go!
You there! Explain yourself! What are you doing in my home? Who are you? Why have you invaded my home? The Shades defend my home from thieves. Neither I nor my servants bear any interest in the living. My work concerns one who died long ago. And now, I would know why this creature travels with you. Simple-minded thing. Those wards haven't contained me for decades. I remain within by choice. Now, I'm at a critical juncture in my research, and I need this creature to complete it. If you interfere, I'll drive you from my home. Now, be gone.
No, please! I don't want to stay here!
You dare interrupt me? Kalian, my son, see to this intruder.
It hurts.
Again, you trouble me at a critical juncture. What must I do to hasten your departure? Attempting to restore my son, despite your interruptions. That creature is a piece of him, an imperfect piece. If I reunite flesh and spirit, I can revive my son. He's my son. I'd do anything to restore him to a fraction of himself. With refinement, I can make him whole again. Vastari thought this hubris. If she hadn't left this world, I'd try to make her understand. That we could one day be a family again. I needed time to refine my methods, and time I have had. And now, I have his spirit. I don't wish to harm this creature. But without the bone scepter to control it, I must resort to cruder methods. You what? That scepter is crafted from my own bones. It can bind the creature to his immortal husk. Once Kalian's wounds knit, I'll summon him here. You must bind the creature to his husk. Set things to how they should be.
No!
You feared I would raise an undead army to march through Grotwood? My wife and I spurned Menemarco for a reason. But in return for binding this creature to my son's husk, I pledge we will remain within our home forever. He was young when he had his accident. Too young. The creature you've met can't fully comprehend the world around it. Unless properly supervised, it could harm itself or others without knowing what it did. No, to set it free would be a cruelty. Kalian is my son. I needed all his remains to craft the husk, so I had to use my own for the scepter. To command a spirit, use a focus made of its bones or those of its close relatives. Basic necromantic principle. I broke through Vestari's ward just under a century ago. I have remained here ever since, attempting to restore what remained of my family. I will never leave, as long as Kalian remains at my side. This is my home.
No, please. You can't make me be a monster again. I don't want to be here anymore. It hurt when I was a monster. It hurt worse than these chains. I want my father to sleep so I can go away. I don't know. I wish you could use the bone scepter on him. Point it at his body. There on the throne. And tell him to go to sleep. Then I could finally leave. Far away from here. Somewhere safe and warm. Somewhere where I'd have friends.
No! What are you... What?
You did it! You did it! I'm free! I'm finally free! Thank you. Thank you. I don't know, but whatever it is, I'll be far away from here. Telacar can't hurt me anymore. Here, I can open a portal so you can be with your friends. Tell them I'm sorry about the shades. As long as they stay away, they should be fine.
I don't know what you did, but the shades are a bit sluggish. We'll hold off the dig until they return to the ground. If they return. I should send word back to the Mages Guild. They'll want to know everything.
Wounded badly.
And raw!
You actually got the bow? Incredible. Did Storgh give you much trouble? Vinedeath Cave remains true to its name then. I'm sorry to hear it. Storgh might have been a dunderheaded double-crosser, but he was still my friend. I figure I owe you what the tree thane paid me for the bow. Some thief I turned out to be, eh?